So we're looking at the practice formative for 3132. You're being asked to graph f of x is 2x minus 6. It's in slope intercept form, which looks like this. And even though we're adding the y-intercepts, in this case, it's negative. So it's kind of tied in right here. And it makes sense the outcome's -6, because if you were to plug in 2 times 0 minus 6, like up here, checking where x is 0, the outcome's 0 minus 6, which is all just -6. So boom, it's right there. Done. This one is slightly a blooper. It should say 3, 0 is the right answer. And we even see that when we graph this out, because we know our y-intercept's -6. Our slope here is 2. So 2 over 1, which is also our rise over our run. Same song and dance. I mean, you've done this for quite a bit. You've been doing this since last year, maybe even earlier. Going over 1, up 2, keep going, keep going. And then since this point here intercepts the y-axis, psych the x-axis, then we have our x-intercept there. Capiche? Super simple. Another point on the line, you could have picked any one. I'm going to pick 2, -2. It's my other point on the line. Sorry, 3, -2. So I'll pick that, show the work for it, which is again just plugging in instead of x. Instead of x, say your x coordinate's 3. So you'd be taking, sorry, 3, -3. My bad. Times 3. How did I get it wrong again? 3, -2. 3, -3. Yeah, 3, -3, right? Not losing it. Oh, duh. It's because I rotated this down. All right. So it actually is 2, -2. 2, -2. Makes sense. 4 minus 6. It's -2. There you go. So that's the work you would show. Yeah, typical Zoom blooper. Slide 2 has you graphing an exponential function, and you're asked the y-intercepts. It's pretty simple to just plug in where x is 0, and anything to the 0 power is just 1. So when you plug in where x was 0, you're just left with 3 times 1, so the outcome's 3. You see that here. We mark it as an ordered pair. We plotted that first right here, which is nice, but you can't use it for the later part where you're saying another point on the line. So what I did is I thought out how the equation was really building, starting with 3 multiplies by 2, x times. So I sketched out the rest of this, where this was when x was 0. This is where x is 1, where x is 2. So I can just use these as ordered pairs and plot them out, which is what I did. As you can see here, 324 is here, 2, 12 is here, 1, 6 is here, 0, 3 was there. The point that I harp in on though is 324. So 3, 24. If you plug in where x was 3, you get 3 times 2 to the third. 2 to the third is 8. 3 times 8 is 24. This is true, dude. So we know we're done. We know we're in good shape. Finally, you're given some type of function. I don't know, kind of like a roller coaster, boring roller coaster. It goes flat and you're already 4 feet in the air and then it drops. Intervals of increase. You don't see the roller coaster going up like this or like that at any point. So there's none. As far as where it decreases, we know that starts here. This is where x is 3. And it concludes where x is 9. Be careful with this. This is where x is 9. So I notice here that it's a bracket. I also know it ends with the bracket seen here. So bracket on 3, bracket 9, constant interval from -2 to 3. And as we conclude with domain and range, I'm going to draw this out. If this means something to you, that's good. If it doesn't mean anything, maybe you'll learn something from it. Dr. XY, the good homie. Dr. XY, who are they? They help you remember that the domain deals with the X values used in the function and the range deals with the Y values in the function. So our way left, way back when I had the red and black lumberjack with the hat to match, -2 is the lowest X coordinate. So start at -2 and it has a bracket. So start there. And in the end, does it even matter? I don't know, but it ends at 9. So you got to talk about that. So this is saying quite a bit. It's saying that all of these X values were used in the function. No X values were harmed in the production of this video. The Y coordinates, however, so talking Y, I'm going to switch the color. Lowest Y coordinate was here. And then it ends back up here. So it's all brackets. So it started where Y was 0 and concluded when Y was up here at 4. So from 0 to 4, that's our range. Sound good? Capiche? Well, this last slide's pretty fun because you just get to size this thing up and judge it. So your Y coordinate was the minimum. Well, the Y coordinate is what you want to talk about. That's what they say in Canada. The smallest Y coordinate here was 0. So back up here, just type 0. The maximum was 4. It even says I'm correct because I got it like that. I was lucky enough to have an X-intercept that I've already talked about at length. This was at 9, 0. And I did have a Y-intercept. Yeah, believe it or not, I had a Y-intercept here of 0, 4. Although it looks as if these are just parodies on the minimum and the maximum points that I just talked about, don't get into the habit of thinking that it's just those intercepts and that's it. It might be a crazy type of equation. You want to be just on guard in case that goes crazy, because you might have several intercepts. That's a thing. But I hope that this video was helpful. If you are stuck on anything, reach out, ask a question. I hope you're well. Take care.